how specifically do you and your team go about determining the proper KPI and making sure that it's the right one for your testing needs?
Yeah, good question. So believe it or not, we see like internal teams struggle with this a lot. There are two components that you need to break down. One is the alignment around what you're trying to optimize for, and that's like the politics, essentially, for lack of a better word, of like, is everyone aligned on what we're trying to accomplish here? Because I have my like 6 principles kind of framework. The first is business alignment, like strategic business alignment. If we don't get everyone aligned, then we're in trouble from the very beginning, right? So the ways we simplify this, and I mentioned this earlier, is like, let's just pick one primary KPI, one macro conversion that we're focusing on, right? That gives us a level of focus. It helps us test against just that one KPI and make progress against it. The other part of this is, if you're kind of working in the trenches day to day and you're like an individual contributor, you're a marketing manager or whatever your title is within a company, and you don't have necessarily like exec level buy-in for the things you're doing, there's 2 approaches. You go to the exec team, you make your case, you go, here's the whole plan, here's the process, here's how we're launching CRO. Let's all get aligned on this. If they shoot that down, then the second sneakier way is you're going to pick off certain pages that you own or certain like URLs that you can test on, and you're going to build a little momentum. You're going to run some tests. You're going to like maybe show one winning test. And then that gives you the ability to get that buy-in you need for experimentation overall, but then also like progress against KPIs. So those are some like kind of change management, like process related things, but that can help people a lot when they're in that position.
That's really great. That's very helpful. Sophie, how about you? How do you prioritize and measure KPIs?
Actually, very similar to what Jeremy just expressed there, in terms of you either get buy-in initially off the gate for starting an experimentation program, or you're building towards getting buy-in. Oftentimes, we are working with companies that fall a little bit closer to the latter, even if, for example, the marketing team is bought in. However, it hasn't disseminated throughout the entire organization. So there's always, we find, some point that we're building towards in terms of strategic alignment, whether it's working from individual contributors up to the actual kind of exec team within a marketing org, whether it's disseminating it across all cross-functional areas of the organization. Typically, there's some component to that. And a big way that we find to get a little bit more kind of focused in on how to combat that is thinking about minimum needed revenue impact. And if you are not measuring to revenue, if you don't have that attribution data, you can move up funnel, right? Pipeline. So think about, what is the marketing team measured on? Ideally, we're all measuring and aligning with revenue, right? Revenue ACV. However, oftentimes marketing organizations currently we find at B2B companies are measuring to pipeline. So pick whichever aligns with your organization, and think of your prioritization of, like Jeremy said, getting that sneaky buy-in around, how do I showcase minimum revenue or pipeline impact to be able to make this case? And that will come down to being really intentional about tests. So thinking around what KPIs are going to get me that revenue impact. And Jeremy, were you going to jump in there?
Yeah. I was just going to piggyback on that. So like from like a data perspective, if you're looking across different macro and micro conversions, like we have a business intelligence team who works through a process with our clients where we help them isolate what is actually going to drive the most impact. Part of that is based on the ROI projections, which kind of feeds into one of our next questions. So I'll hold off on that. But yeah, there are benchmarks that exist across different verticals. Benchmarks are just a number to get a relative understanding. It's not a source of truth. It's not something that you should live or die by, but it can help you at least get an understanding. So like for an e-com business, if your add to cart rate is only 4% versus 8% in your particular vertical, that can be useful information, right? So we can use those aspects, but we can also look through different analytics reports and custom reports to figure out like where do we have the most upside potential. So we can take a data-driven approach to isolating KPIs. But again, if we're targeting this at companies that are just getting started, any form of testing versus not testing, it's going to be very easy to make the case, right? So we don't want to overthink it. We don't want to get stuck on things we don't need to get stuck on, but like pick something simple and straightforward, like work against a specific KPI. That's what's going to drive value, because you can always shift the strategy later. And people don't think that. They think it's like set it and forget it. We never make changes. That's not how it actually works. So like it's about getting started. That's the important thing.